Hey everybody, Johnny Coates here. We're going to go over how to install Stable Diffusion 2.1. It's a really good model for generating images from text. So here's the huggingface.co website for the Stable Diffusion, and it's pretty easy to install, but there's a couple hiccups that you can get into, so we're going to go through that. So the first thing we're going to do is make a new directory in the folder and go into the directory. And in here, we're going to start a new Python virtual environment, get that initialized. So here we are. So one of the first things we need to do is, I like to open up this terminal and activate the virtual environment in here. So the next thing that we need to do once we're inside of our virtual environment is go to the documentation. And this is the website, huggingface.co/stabilityai/stable-diffusion-2-1. So the first thing is, since we're in Python, we just pip install this stuff. Make sure your virtual environment is activated. And just wait a minute for this stuff to download and install. So now we make a new file. We'll just call it d2.py. And this is one of the reasons I'm making it. So you can just copy and paste this. So it'll import Torch, get the Stable Diffusion pipelines in the scheduler, pipe it to CUDA, which uses the GPU VRAM to create the thing, to create the image, and the default a photo of an astronaut riding a horse on Mars. Torch. We get the Stable Diffusion pipeline in the scheduler. We're going to use Stability AI Stable Diffusion 2.1 model. And inside of our pipeline, we're going to use from pre-trained, passing the model ID, which is 2.1. And we're going to use float 16, which is one of the faster ones. Show you where you can go and change those to. Then we get the scheduler, and we pipe it to CUDA, which is the video RAM. So I have 64 gigabytes of RAM, but I also have a 1080 Ti, which is 11 gigabyte video RAM, video card. And from testing this earlier, from 1.0, which I had been using just for fun, it took about a minute 45 seconds per image. And then when I was testing this before making the video, I was getting about 30 seconds with just this basic prompt. So we can go in here. I like to make a new folder called images and save this to images / astronaut rides a horse. So that is everything that's on the Hugging Face instructions on how to get up and running. So when we try to run this, and I recommend having significant memory. This thing takes up 6 gigs once all the pipelines and stuff are done. And this is what I wanted to do. This is one of the things that I had trouble with. So Torch not compiled with CUDA enabled. So through problem solving that, there's a separate install for this if you don't have CUDA installed globally. And I don't. It's because I'm working in a virtual environment. It's not passing the workload to my GPU. So on the pytorch.org/get-started locally, you have these options right here. And like if you're working on Mac or Linux or want to install with Conda or libtorch or source, what language you're using and what platform you want, it'll give you a different install. So I want 2.12 Windows, pip install Python, but I want CUDA 12.1. So it gives you this nice pip install. So just install this. These installs take quite a bit of time. All right, now it's successfully installed. And now we can try to run it. So you can see it's taking about 20 to 30 seconds. And I have OBS running. and some other stuff taken away from it. So it's taking about 30 seconds. Now it's done. We can see that it's in here. And here is the astronaut riding a horse. And just like that, you have Stable Diffusion, and you can make your own text images on your own computer. A couple of other things. They recommend installing Xformers for memory efficient attention for better performance. You can just click on that link. It comes up over here. It leads to this GitHub page. Make sure you grab the right CUDA version. I did 12.1. So I want this. I want to install this Xformers. So pip install that. Let's change this to Astronaut Rides Horse 2. Save it and run it again. 33 seconds, and our last one took 33 seconds as well. So let's see if we get any quality difference. Oh, look at that. You got a little reflection, a little goofy ear. That horse looks kind of goofy. One image I did get was really nice. This bee pollinating a flower. That came out really good. But there's a lot more you can do with Stable Diffusion. If you go to the Hugging Face website, you can learn about diffusers, quick tour on what all this stuff, what the pipelines do, what the models do, schedulers, and you can customize this as much as you want. And if you find the Stable Diffusion part on here, you can do image to image or text to image. If you look at this text to image, you can look at all the different inputs and stuff you can change, all the parameters you can put in. So there's the negative prompt, which is optional. The guidance scale, higher guidance scale value encourages the model to generate images closely linked to the text prompt at the expense of lower image quality. Default 7.5. You can change all these parameters in your pipe, but then you can also find image to image. So you can send an image and add some text to change what the image looks like. You can do in-painting, depth to image, image variation, an upscaler, some super resolution. So this is everything you can find over here on the Stable Diffusion with the Stable Diffusion pipeline. Anyways, that was a quick and dirty way to get up and running. Again, my images took 30 seconds on an 11 gigabyte VRAM. There's a lot more stuff you can find in here on how to make it faster, upload it to CPU. Just go through these docs, use their code, see what it does. Thanks for watching. Code on.